It's kill season. I be fresh to death. It's kill season. All this water on my neck. It's kill season. You know my drip gon' leave them wet. It's kill season. It's kill season.
Mile High Minute, #1 podcast in the universe. Shout out the sponsor of today's video, 3 a.m. Water. Make sure you go get that hydration for the go-getters. Hit that like button, comment down below who you want to see next on the Mile High Minute, and make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay notified when all the latest news drops. But anyways, introducing today's guest, we got Kayla Rae, one of the hottest artists out of Denver. How you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
Always good, always good. Appreciate you coming through. Been wanting to do this interview for a while.
I think like 2 months we've been trying to.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to get this rolling.
Hell yeah. So originally you're from Colorado Springs, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And when did you come up to Denver?
I came up to Denver in 2015.
Okay. What was the reason for that move?
I had just left my lease in my apartment, and I was living with my sister at the time.
Do you want to spit that out real quick? You can if you want. It's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Bam. I was living with my sister at the time, and I just didn't have any like obligations in the Springs. Like I said, my lease was up. I had literally just broken up with somebody, and I was like, let me just move to Denver because there's nothing here for me anymore in Colorado Springs. So I moved up here, and I said,
were you still making music in the Springs and stuff?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
It was like super. It was so just like
low key, like
makeshift. Like you know, I'd make shit in my bedroom, and I would like record videos on my laptop.
Yeah.
Like it was like super low key. But yes, I've always created music, and so when I got up here, I actually like set up all my equipment in my room, and I wrote an EP, and then I released it in 2016.
Okay. So compare the Springs and Denver a little bit. Like, it's
just like growing up in the Springs, it was like here was the place to be. Like
Denver
was the cool place, you know,
for sure,
because the Springs is really slow. There's not much happening down there, especially musically. There's really nothing happening there. But there's a lot of cool talent there.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
It's more of like it's definitely a military town, you know.
Yeah, with the base down there, of course.
So there's just not a whole lot going on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shout out Mac Diddy. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's coming up out of the Springs. He's a really good rapper. But anyways, what is some of the adversity you faced growing up? Whether it be making music or just growing up in general, like what are some of the obstacles you had to overcome to get where you are today?
I think just like, you know, because growing up, it was me and my brothers and sisters and my mom.
Yeah.
So, you know, we didn't have our dads around.
Okay.
And that was really hard because she would have to work, you know, overnight, like security jobs and stuff. And so going to school, you know, like coming home, she would like be sleeping or something.
Yeah.
She was like working really hard. So, you know, we kind of had to like raise ourselves at times and raise each other. You know, we had to like really stick together as brothers and sisters. And
so it made you guys grow up really fast.
Yeah, it did. It really did. And I think part of the reason I gravitated towards music was because I was isolated a lot. I was by myself a lot, you know, because my sisters, they got into a lot of trouble growing up. Like they were pretty bad. And I was always a really good kid. So I never really like had anyone to talk to, and my brothers were so much younger than me, so I was just kind of stuck in the middle. And music was just that outlet for me to kind of like express myself and find who I was.
Well, you kind of started to get into my next question about how old were you when you transitioned and really started to make music and got inspired to make music?
I've been just writing, like I've just been a creative writer all my life, like in school and stuff. But I think, you know, I'm pretty sure I wrote my first song when I was like 7.
Oh, okay.
And it was like
so you've been doing it.
Oh yeah, I've been doing this.
Yeah.
But I actually recorded my first song when I was 13.
Okay.
And it was for Mother's Day.
And was that like in your own house, or did you go to a studio?
No, I was at my friend's house. His name's Gerald. Shout out to Gerald. And he had this super ghetto setup in his closet, and it was hot as hell. But we were like, this is so dope.
Yeah.
And so, we found this random beat, I think, on like Dat Piff or some shit. And like I sang on it and gave it to my mom.
That's awesome. See, I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs have the similarities when it comes to growing up. Not necessarily every entrepreneur, but I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, whether it be making music, doing anything really creatively, I feel like they all kind of face some type of adversity,
Yeah.
like similar adversities in ways that kind of inspire them to kind of grow up a little faster and just work harder, you know what I'm saying, to take themselves to the next level.
Yeah, because you really, you really do only got yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for
you
sure.
can have support from people, but you're all you got at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
And so yeah, it did. It helped me a lot though. Like, and my mom is amazing, and she's, my main driving force for what I do. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it all happened how it was supposed to.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
So, who are some of like the dream collaborations? Who are some people that inspired you growing up to make music?
When I was younger, I was really inspired by a lot of like pop and R&B.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I loved like Britney Spears and Aaliyah and Maya and Christina Aguilera. Like I loved those girls growing up. And I think like a dream collaboration right now would probably be, I would really love to work with Drake or Beyonce.
Yeah, yeah, I can see
I would
that.
really
Yeah,
love to work with Beyonce because I feel like she's the only person I think from her era who's been able to like survive in the new generations and
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
current. You know what I mean?
most
like
definitely.
she's just a genius. And
And-
I'd really like to work with Rihanna too.
Yeah, yeah. Now that you brought that up, I remember a couple months back, Selena Powell shout out Trev Rich on the No Jumper, and she was talking about Beyonce Denver, and a lot of people were saying we're comparing you to the Beyonce of Denver, so I just wanted to
tight.
bring that up. But
That's tight. She works really hard.
yeah, yeah,
And she's known for who she is for a reason. So
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
for sure. Yeah.
That's hella cool.
So who do you want to work with in Denver? We talked about some dream collaborations,
Yeah.
like outside of Denver, but who in Denver do you could you see yourself working with, or who have you worked with in Denver?
I think there's so many talented people in Denver. And a lot
Most
of them are
definitely.
my friends. So,
yeah,
I want to work with everybody. Like, I've worked with Trev a couple times. And we've done, like, some writing together, too, which
Yeah.
is cool. He's
he writes for some
he's a really
some
good
big
writer.
people. Yeah,
So we've worked together on both sides as artists and as writers. I think AP is really dope.
Yeah,
I'd love
for
to
sure.
work with him.
he's
I've
coming
worked
up
with
right now for sure.
He is, man.
He
He's
went crazy
killing it.
2019.
Yeah, he had a great year. I've worked with J Triple. She's probably my favorite rapper
Okay.
out here. I think she's so cold.
Hell yeah.
And that's as far as rappers go. But yeah, like everybody, I think is really good. Like
Yeah,
everybody
most
out here is
definitely.
pretty talented. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So what's the average day in the life like for Kayla Rae?
I wake up. I go braid hair. That's my side hustle. I
Oh,
braid
okay.
hair, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I go braid hair at the shop, and then I usually come to the studio. I pretty much live there now, like literally. So,
Yeah.
so I'm in the studio every day, whether it's like working on visuals or whether it's music or, whether it's just me with the team and we're just trying to figure out what the next move is.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I watch Netflix and I go to bed.
Hell yeah. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like once you start like falling in love with your craft, it almost gets addicting. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be in the studio. You have to just work. I don't know, in some ways.
It's very addicting.
Yeah,
and, I think it's addicting once you start seeing your results.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
for
Like,
sure.
Once you compare where you were months ago to where you are, you're like, you realize like how many hours it really does take to be great.
Most
And I
definitely.
think as a younger generation, unfortunately, some of us just feel so entitled, like, and we have to realize that this takes way more time than you
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
It takes way more than 5 hours in the studio a day.
Most definitely.
5-hour sessions twice a week ain't gonna cut it. And I know some people can't afford studio sessions, but if you're not, constantly writing and making songs at home, if you're not constantly networking or like, it's gonna be harder for you. Like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really does.
You got to put in that like
You have to
10,000
put in
hours,
that
like they say.
10,000 hours. It's real.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
real.
for sure.
You're a brand, you're a business. And I think once you just realize like how far you're going, you're like, okay, I can't stop.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
Mhm.
So, what kind of vibes, energy, what do you prefer in the studio? Like, is there any specific drinks, some snacks? Like, is there specific people you want to be around? Like, or do you just want to be by yourself? Like, what kind of energy do you prefer when you're in the studio
I like it real
recording?
low key in the studio.
Okay,
Like,
so you want people on their shit working.
Yeah, I don't
no
really
bullshit.
like. It's cool. Like, and usually there's never anybody in the studio but me and my producer.
Yeah.
But once in a while, you know, if a lot of people are there for whatever random reason, sometimes I like that because I like to like flex vocally. Like if I know a lot of people are in the studio, I'll just start singing my ass off. But when it comes to creating, I like it real low key. Like, and I don't really like to have food in the studio because I eat so much and like I won't focus if there's food around.
yeah. Food.
So I'd rather just it's super chill. It's definitely like it's definitely focused, you know.
Yeah.
And I try to go in with a purpose every time. But sometimes you just kind of got to go with the flow, you know.
Yeah, most definitely.
But it's always pretty low key, just me and John.
Yeah. Going back to when you said if there's a lot of people in the room, you like to flex a little bit.
Yeah.
I could see that because I was watching some of your interviews, and you were it seemed like you weren't nervous at all to sing. It seemed like I seen you. I think it was in New York. I want to say for like an LGBT thing. I don't know for sure it was New York,
on the
but
news?
yeah, on the news. It seemed like you weren't nervous at all. You were ready.
I was shaking.
Really?
But I was like, I've never been on the news in New York.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm not about to be scared now.
You got to do it.
She was like, "Oh, you're just gonna take the mic?"
yeah.
But yeah, I do. I like to put my foot forward when I'm on the spot.
Most definitely, that's good.
Yeah, I think you just never know who's watching you, and you don't ever want to miss an opportunity because of fear. So
yeah, I mean, you miss every shot you don't take. So
exactly.
Yeah. So what was that feeling like the first time you heard yourself on the radio?
It was emotional because the first time I actually heard it was in the radio station, so it was kind of like in the moment, you know. But the first time I heard it in the car, because they had given me a schedule, I think the first 3 days it was on the radio.
Yeah.
But then after that, I didn't know when it would play, and I was in the car, and I was having like a really, really bad day, and the song just came on, and I was just like, I just started crying my eyes out. It was so emotional for me because I never even knew that was going to happen that year. You know what I mean? So it was just like, and it was just a song that, you know, was made out of so much fun and like good energy, and it just felt right.
Yeah, most definitely.
It felt so right.
Yeah. And it seems like, I don't know, it seems like you're going crazier this year, especially these past 6 months with the songs.
I think consistency is just
is
the biggest thing.
The All Love and Stupid, like I was looking at those numbers. Denver artists don't do that normally, so it's amazing to see, really.
The first time, you know, when All Love, because that's the first video I've ever gotten that many views on.
Yeah.
It felt so good because we put so much work into that song and that video and the release, and to see it turn around like that in our favor was just, you know, I was just really thankful for that because it feels good when the hard work isn't missed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you finally, you know, for me, I did this shit a lot on my own a year ago. So when I finally was able to get people around me that could help, that could actually push a song too, that knew how to do that, it was just like, damn, this is the difference. This is, you know what I mean? This is what makes the difference.
So are you still independent or okay?
Technically, because I'm actually technically signed to Side 3 as an artist.
Side 3 the studios, or is that okay? Cool.
Technically, it's a label.
Yeah. Okay.
Much.
Cool.
But yeah, people just think I'm signed to my manager who owns Side 3.
Yeah.
We're kind of signed as like a label artist thing, but together we're independent.
It seems like he definitely lets you do kind of what you want though, and he helps you with the promotion
stuff.
He's
so supportive.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because he just believes in me as a person, as an artist. You know?
Yeah, most definitely.
His job is to take the vision and make it better, and like make sure, you know, it's like defined.
Yeah.
Sometimes as artists, we just act on like emotion, and it's like sometimes you just got to refine your sound, you got to refine your look.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he's super supportive. He's like, do what you want. I'm just here to help.
That's awesome.
I got you. Yeah.
And obviously it's working, so.
It's working, man. And I didn't know a year ago when we met, I didn't know what it would be like because I'd worked with other people before who tried to take on that role.
Yeah.
And they had no clue what they were doing. And right away they were taking money from me, and, you know, and as an artist, if you're getting booked for a show for $300, why would a manager take 20% of that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not
Unless,
making anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So there were just situations that weren't right, and I didn't know what to expect working with him, but it was just right from the jump.
That's
and
awesome.
It showed itself to be like
Yeah,
the best
yeah.
situation for me right now.
Shout out Dreamers Day Productions too.
Yeah,
They've been
they're
killing your videos.
incredible.
Yeah.
They definitely have a place in in why everything is like moving, because
Yeah, yeah.
their quality of work is just untouchable.
Yeah, most definitely.
And they work really well. Like, you show up to a set and they have everything ready for you. They're like, here's our schedule, here's what we're doing. They're very professional, and their work is the bomb.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So let's throw it back a little bit. Talk about that Summer Jam experience. How was that?
Yeah.
Was that 2018 or when?
That was last year.
Last year, okay.
Yeah. That was incredible. That was like, it was a dream come true for me, because I had always wanted to get on a stage that big,
Yeah.
And having that experience, it wasn't even something that I knew, again, that was going to happen. Like, it wasn't like it wasn't like the radio was like, hey, we're looking for a Summer Jam opener and we're considering you. Like, they just surprised me.
That's
were like,
awesome,
yo,
yeah.
do you want to do this? And the reason it was so special was because I think a week before that, me and my dancers were getting ready for the show that we were doing. And one of my dancers was like, yo, what if the radio asked you to do Summer Jam this year? And I was like, shut up. Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not going to happen. Yeah. She's like, I know, but it would be cool, right? I'd be like, that would be a dream. And then a week later, they asked me.
That's crazy.
I know. And so
it's weird how energy works like that.
It's crazy, man. Like, it was such a learning experience for me, too. I think, because I expected a lot from that. And when I realized it's just another step, it's not the end all,
Yeah, most definitely.
It was such a learning experience for me, because I had to go back to waiting tables the next day.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like, these things don't happen for you overnight, but they're there to teach you what you need to know along the way.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
That taught me a lot about performance and like getting ready for something that big.
Most definitely.
And everyone was so helpful. Like, all the other artists backstage, like, I got to meet Wiz. And
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got to meet Big Boy. And
Big Boy too? I've been watching him so much.
He was too cool for me.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like, he was too cool, and I totally get why. I was just like a little peasant in his presence. Big Boy.
No, yeah, and, definitely.
But yeah, it was just cool, just getting to be around, who are eventually going to be my peers one day.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah, and see, people, they'll look at your videos and they'll see the 100K, 200K views, but what they don't realize is how long you've been working on this, and like you're finally starting to get to that point where the views are coming in that big. You know what I'm saying? So
it's like, it doesn't just happen overnight.
Yeah,
like,
most definitely.
It really does take consistency, but you have to operate at like a professional level eventually. You have to set a standard for yourself and be like, okay, this is who I want to be. I have to be taken serious.
Period.
And so eventually the universe like brings you people who can.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like, okay, you starting to take yourself serious. Now you deserve this.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I wasn't ready.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I was getting ready.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from, because I don't know, you might not be familiar with Say Cheese. They're more of like an underground hip hop platform, but they're huge on YouTube and stuff down in Texas. And we just have Sean Cotton. This interview dropped tonight from Say Cheese, and like he pulled up. I just hit him up on Twitter out of nowhere. He responded, and when he pulled up, I was like freaking out, because it reminded me of when you talked about Big Boy, because I looked at him as like I was just a little peasant, but it was cool just meeting him.
It's so cool, yeah. Like what's crazy about like this whole social media era right now is that you meet people and you're like, oh, you're actually like really cool.
Yeah.
Because we all seem so different online, and so it's just a breath of fresh air when you meet people.
Yeah,
and you're
most
like,
definitely.
Oh, damn, you're human.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's cool.
For sure, I can see that. I'm sure people could even like think that about you after watching your last music video. They might think.
I know.
Yeah.
They're probably like, damn, this bitch is crazy. But I'm just an artist.
Like, most definitely got to express yourself.
That's how I get to express myself.
Yeah.
There's not too much else that I that I do to get that out of me.
Yeah.
Music, I gotta go all out with it.
Well, let's talk about some of your performances and videos. Obviously, like fashion seems to be extremely important to you. whether it be like the different hairstyles or the different outfits. It seems like you love to express yourself through fashion. So talk about that a bit. What's so important to you about fashion and expressing yourself through
I
that
think
stuff?
it's just, I'm a really colorful person.
Yeah.
Like, I like to try new things. And my hair, like, I've been playing with my hair since I was, like, 10 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I would always be in the bathroom doing something to my hair because I just like to switch it up. Like, I like to see myself in different lights and stuff.
Okay.
And so my hair is something that is always going to change, not because it's on purpose, but it's just like, I really can't help it. I just can't help it. And so, and like as far as getting dressed, like I look forward to waking up and picking out my clothes. Like I love that. It's so much fun to me because it's a mood. Like how am I feeling today? You know, do I wanna look sexy or do I wanna look cool or how are you feeling?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
not care today? Like, and I actually just linked up with my girl Kaya, who is a designer and a stylist.
Out here in Denver? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's just like, she's bringing that back to life for me too. Like,
That's
she's
awesome,
so excited.
yeah.
She's like, girl, your clothes are so dope. She's like, but have you tried to wear this with this? And
That's
I'm like,
awesome, yeah.
no, I have not. That is great. Thank you. And so it's just another way, to express yourself. And it brings the art to life too.
Oh, yeah,
like,
most definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the videos and the songs, it gives them a whole different.
Oh, yeah. It's just going to, like, just bring it to life, like you said. The performance going to bring everyone's like eyes in. They're gonna be so focused in. So I definitely could see it.
And she styled Kill Season and murdered it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that single a little bit. What was the idea behind that song?
I actually came into the studio when Doobie Newton and my producer were working, and they were like, Doobie was like, "Yo, I got this hook," and they played the song, and I was like, it was like back in May.
Yeah.
And that's right when All Love came out. So it was like just so different, two completely different songs.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I was like, this is hard. I was like, I have to get on this. And so the concept was just like, he was just like, you know, if you're trying to flex, just flex then. Like,
he
was
flex.
like, if you're trying to flex, write these verses and flex. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to flex. Because I've had exes do me wrong, you know?
Yeah.
And the song doesn't have to necessarily be about that. Just being about people who have ever tried to wrong you. And now
most
they have
definitely.
to watch you succeed.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, it's not my fault. It's just the way of the universe, bro. You know
for
what I mean? You messed up. And
facts.
And now you gotta watch me shine.
Yep.
It's Kill Season.
For sure. No, that song's motivating, low key.
It's cool,
very
right?
motivating. Yeah, I
and
really
every
like
time
that song.
I hear it, like I love it even more, and I've heard it probably close to like 500 times.
Yeah.
And I try to listen from a listener's standpoint.
Yeah.
Like, this is dope.
It's dope. Yeah, shout out Napalm.
Yeah.
Shout out Napalm. He's in the video.
I love Napalm, man. He's such a good actor, and
he is. He really
he's
is.
just an artist. Like, he's a writer, an actor, a singer.
He's everything.
He's everything.
Yeah.
And he's so dedicated to art. Like, we didn't have to tell him nothing. I think he crashed that car 20 times into those barrels.
That's crazy.
When
I was looking at that. I seen the wheels fall, and I was like, what the fuck? How did they get all that shit?
He had like scars on his legs from falling out the car. Like, he's so dedicated.
That's awesome.
He's amazing.
Go check out that interview if you haven't already. Shout out Napalm.
Yeah, shout out Napalm.
So, what are some of the upcoming, like, do you have any upcoming singles, tapes, projects that people have to look forward to? Or
what I've been doing this year has been working for me. So
I'm
gonna just keep doing it.
Got to.
Releasing single after single. I have something really cool that I'm dropping in in December. I don't know when this is gonna come out, but next week I actually have something really cool dropping. It's not a video or anything.
Yeah. Well, it'll probably be out after you drop that, I'm assuming.
Okay.
So we got AP next week dropping. Your video will probably be, and then we got Peso from Texas. So it'll be the week after that.
Okay, cool. So it'll already
Sean
be out
Conn
by
too.
then. But and then I'm not really ready to drop a project yet.
Yeah. So do you kind of want to wait until
I feel like
the right moment?
I mean, I definitely have enough music to.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I want to wait for the right moment. Like, I want it to be special.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I want it to be something, one, that everybody's waiting on. I want them to, like, be hungry for it.
You got to be smart with the marketing.
Yeah, and I want to know I want to know what story to tell with the project.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because I've released so many projects on SoundCloud from years ago, and they all had a specific purpose.
Mhm.
And right now, I'm just having fun making a bunch of like random songs.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so I just want to keep doing that. And when the project does come, it's gonna be just right. So hopefully, you know what I mean. But I don't see that happening in like the next few months.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
But more music like every month.
yeah, most definitely.
Every month.
I could see you kind of being like, I don't know, I could see almost this transition phase of like you just going crazy big here soon. So I feel like it would be smarter to kind of wait
To
a
just
little bit
wait.
until like shit really like you're taking off, but until shit really takes off. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want it to fall on deaf ears.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because every song is so special to an artist, and this way, the way I'm doing it by releasing one each month and a video and stuff, I can make sure that song has a life.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
most
make
definitely.
sure that it like is being seen and it lives for a little while. Because with projects, sometimes your favorite song on the project nobody fucks with, or you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to make sure each song is being executed the right way, and then when I do have a project, it'll just be. And then people will know me a little more too.
Okay, yeah,
so
yeah.
It'll be a little more personal and
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
make more sense.
So you're very calculated, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any upcoming shows?
Not really. I'm doing this like special acoustic in studio show.
Okay.
And I'm inviting like 15 people to come.
Oh, so it's exclusive.
Yeah,
That's
it's cool.
awesome.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
excited. I've never done it before, but you know, I have so many people on Instagram like who just really love me. Like, you know,
Mhm.
like people that I don't know who encourage me. Like they say like some of the nicest things. And
Yeah, yeah.
so I just want to ask them if they want to come in to this performance, and it'll just be like real low key and sweet for the holidays. But other than that, I don't have any shows planned
Okay.
unless they're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's getting to that point where you need to start seeing them big checks for the shows.
You got to
so.
be selective. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when I first came out here in 2015, I was doing, you know, a bunch of shows
Yeah,
in
yeah.
2016 and 2017, and it was all for a reason, you know. I got
Mhm,
to
you gotta put yourself
I got
out
to
there.
Summer
Yeah.
Jam, so it was
Yeah.
like it was all for a reason. And now, if the show makes sense, you know, then I'll absolutely do it. But I don't want to just perform to perform because I want people to come out.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if
most
If
definitely.
I got a show every 2 weeks, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I just saw her 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago,
exactly.
So I'm good," you
Yeah,
know?
no, you gotta stay exclusive. You know, that's how
Yeah.
the people are gonna actually come to the shows. That's how they're gonna check out the projects.
Exactly.
For sure, I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I just fucking spaced it.
Good
There was-
conversation.
Yeah, yeah. What is one song everyone should go check out right now? I know you just dropped that Kill Season. Is that
There's so
is that the
many good
one?
ones. I would say definitely go check out Kill Season. But I would go listen to All Of.
Okay,
I would go listen to All Of because
that's the biggest one, correct? But as far
Yeah.
as views go,
yeah, it's pretty much it takes the cake right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Just because I feel like it really does embody like a lot of me, you
Mhm.
know. Songs like Kill Season and stuff are so much fun because I get to show like a little bit of my attitude.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
But for the most part, like I really just like to keep it all fun. And,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
cool. And All Love was really a turning point. I think for me, just like as a person, I was like, it really is all love in my life. Like I don't have to entertain any
Yeah, yeah.
nonsense, you know. And I feel better when I live in that truth that
Most
like
definitely.
it's all love. And it's just a good song. It's fun. So I would have people go check that out.
Yeah, you just made me remember. So, what's like your favorite style of music to make? Do you like to like make more like I don't know, like the Drake vibe, like the love songs, or do you like to, you know, get more like sexy and sassy? Like, what do you prefer?
I don't know. Like I love all of it, which is why so much of my music it like touches on those different genres because there's just so much in my personality. But
Okay.
I think when it comes down to it and I'm being like honest with myself and I'm being vulnerable, I think that more like laid back vibe, you know,
Okay,
is
yeah,
probably
yeah.
my favorite to make because I feel like I can get a little more real and
Yeah, yeah.
I can just feel it, you know. But it comes in different forms. But I think that's if I'm by myself and I'm writing, that's usually what I write to. Is like
Okay, yeah,
more
yeah, most
slower
definitely.
stuff.
Could you see yourself like branching outside of like hip hop and like going to like I don't know, like some country or something like random, like something different? I don't know, some reggae or something crazy.
Honestly, I I would all be for like collaborating with a country
Okay,
artist.
yeah.
I would love to do some Afro stuff. I've been actually trying to work on that, like
That's
some
awesome,
Afro
yeah.
beats. But the goal is to eventually transition into like mainstream.
Okay,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
most definitely.
I told you when I was little, like Britney Spears and NSYNC and all that. That was
Yeah,
my
yeah.
shit. Like
I mean, I see it
like,
coming. I
I'm
really
low-key a
do.
pop head,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
for real. And so I'm just trying to find that balance between that kind of music and the music that I made. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there aren't a lot of black girls that are pop stars.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I want to do that, you know what I mean? But I don't want to make cookie cutter music. So I'm just trying to find out how I bring me into that world.
Yeah, most
and
definitely.
So yeah, that's the goal. I'm trying to be a pop star.
Well, I mean, everyone's behind you out here. I can really
Thank
see it
you.
happening for sure.
Thank you.
You got the talent.
Thanks.
So what are some of your like 1 year goals? I would say like 5-10 years, but I feel like I don't know. I don't like asking that. I like to see like what people could do in like a year. Like what are some goals you could see yourself within the year?
Next year at this time, I hope that I am. Man, I don't know. I want to be performing more, but not here. You know, so I want to be. By this time next year, I want to be able to pull up to other cities and put on a show and people come out.
Most
you know, like I
definitely.
want to
Yeah,
be known
yeah.
in other cities, even if they're smaller venues like what our Larimer Lounge or our Gothic is. I want to be able to go to other cities like that and not have to open for someone.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so I want to have a following in all of these states where I can be like, all right, I'm gonna go on a mini tour, and let's see how many people come out.
That's awesome.
You know, I want to be able to travel and be known other places, and hopefully by next year I can do that. Hopefully there's a budget for that. Hopefully there's a demand for that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's the goal, is to be able to pull up anywhere.
I mean, if you keep putting out singles like you have been, and those numbers keep going up, you will for sure.
It's crazy because a few months ago, Seattle was like my biggest city. Like it wasn't even Denver.
Really?
That was where I was heard the most.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we just pulled up all my stats, and my
On, like,
biggest
Instagram
audience
or, like,
was in
SoundCloud and
Seattle.
stuff, or?
In like Spotify,
Spotify,
like
okay.
listeners. Yeah, it was in Seattle.
Do you put yourself on like Spotify playlists? Because I've been hearing about artists like doing that, and it's been actually working out really good for them.
You got to now,
Yeah.
especially because, you know, even just like 3 years ago, I feel like streaming wasn't as accessible, or artists felt like it was so like far-fetched to put your music on stuff like that. So everyone was uploading to SoundCloud. But now people realize how easy it is. So there's so much music on there.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to put yourself on playlists and
Most
stuff.
definitely, yeah.
You know, artists have to have a budget to be on bigger platforms.
Yeah.
Because you're just gonna get lost in all the sauce down here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For real. And I mean, you know, it's not to say your music isn't good enough to just skyrocket, but you should be putting effort into like, you know, hey, could we get on this playlist?
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Because then once you do that, then you're randomly on another playlist and you're like, oh shit, this playlist has 200,000 followers and I didn't even,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So you should, as an artist, you should try to put yourself out there like that.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Do you like Spotify more than like SoundCloud and like YouTube and stuff, or what's your favorite platform to put your music on?
I think my favorite platform is still SoundCloud because because when I'm just feeling random, I can just put shit on
Whatever.
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And I have
You
have
be
people
yourself
that,
on SoundCloud.
yeah.
100% of the time, yeah.
and I know it's gonna be heard. But Spotify and Apple Music are really important because those are where labels are listening and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
most definitely.
unfortunately, labels probably aren't listening to SoundCloud.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I respect all of them for different reasons, but I do think SoundCloud is my favorite because that's where I first started. You know, I uploaded all my music there, and that's where a lot of people found me. And actually, some of the YouTube like channels, you know, like Humanity and stuff like that, who have thousands of subscribers, they found me on SoundCloud, and they're like, hey, can we put your song on our YouTube? And then
awesome,
that song has 300,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah,
so SoundCloud it's tight. I still use it.
Yeah. I see that someone did didn't they just check out your music? Who was it? I can't remember who it was. Let's move to the next question. What's one piece of advice you have for all the ladies out there chasing their dreams?
Boss up, girl. Like, boss up and know what you want. And don't let nobody tell you what looks better than what you think looks better or what sounds better. Because as a young woman, people feel like you're easily influenced or swayed, so they're gonna try it if they can, but you just have to stick to what you know, and you have to educate yourself.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because we can't rely on all the men in our lives to to handle this or to handle that. Like, you're gonna have a lot of people running different departments for you, but you still have to know what's going down in each department. You have to know who's signing what. Just know what you're doing, and and just be consistent.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, boss up.
Boss up, girl.
You got any final thoughts, shout outs?
I just want to shout out everybody, like, just doing it, Like, I feel like Denver's in a really good place now. Like, there's such an opportunity for us to, like, create our own wave. And it's going so well with rappers like AP and with Rachel being on the radio. And, like,
Trevor Rich just getting a Grammy.
Trevor Rich getting a Grammy nomination. Like,
nomination,
there's so many good things happening here that I feel like everyone is doing like what they're supposed to be doing. And as long as we stay behind each other and support each other, once something happens in Denver, it's over for all of us. Like, we all out of here, but nobody's really put eyes on us yet. So I just want to encourage all the artists out here to just keep going, and people like you guys giving artists a platform to just talk about what they do. Like, it's so important.
Appreciate it.
And shout out to you guys. And just shout out to my team, because they're the reason that that everything is slowly changing and stuff. So I thank the people who are behind me, and go get that new video, Kill Season.
I feel like everyone can just see it happening with Denver. We're like on that brink, like things are like
beautiful,
getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just gonna be that pop. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I feel it coming.
Somebody gonna do it. I'm saying somebody gonna do it real soon.
For sure.
And that's why.
And then I feel like it's not, once one person does, I feel like it's just gonna be like everyone, like you said. It's
exactly because there's random people from Denver, who have like done things, but but nobody to really put it on the map, and with the city getting as big as it is now, it's like the perfect time. So as soon as everybody's going to be like, I didn't even know that was happening in Denver. Let me find out what else is going on. And then they're going to see everybody else doing this. So,
Yeah, I mean, when Sean Khan came up here, I was like telling him a little bit about like the gang stuff or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, there's gangbangers out here." It was just funny, his reaction.
People think it's just mountains and horses, and it's like there's actually like a life here.
There's a lot of shit going on here.
Even though I feel like it's still kind of behind. It's in a good place. Like, it's you're like, as an artist, you're in a good position if you know what you're doing and you want to be out here.
Most definitely.
Don't get caught up in the local shit though, don't let people, box you in.
For sure.
And one thing I would say too is I think it's important for artists, as talented as I believe we all are out here, I think we have to stop like comparing to other artists out here because
most definitely.
Because, like, when I'm mixing a song or, I'm getting shit like mixed down, I'm playing it next to like shit that's on, I'm playing it next to like Summer Walker or Ariana Grande because I need the quality to be there. You know what I mean? I'm not mixing my shit next to anything I've done before. Like, and I think we have to think bigger as artists out
Most
here,
definitely.
or we're gonna get stuck here. Don't set your standard here in Denver. You know what I mean? Like, look at people who have already done it, and don't compare yourself. But if as for listening quality goes, you know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people want to get on the radio, and they're mad. They're like, why ain't I on the radio? Why, one, there's a lot going on up there, and it's not that easy. But two, it has to sound radio ready. And you can't mix your shit next to my shit or next to Trev's shit and think, you got to be mixing it next to way bigger people.
100% agree.
So don't think so small-minded. Don't think that Denver's it. Just keep reaching for bigger.
I want to make a couple points on that. And I know my boy Jerry can vouch for me, because every time we're talking to people, it's like we talk about competition, I'm always like, okay, Breakfast Club, No Jumper, even KS1075, like anyone that's bigger than us, you know what I'm saying?
You're not comparing yourself to people here.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
you're
not
yeah.
worried about that. I'm worried about like, you know, the big platforms. And then also Grant Cardone, he's a real estate mogul. He was talking about how you got to set your goals like 10 times bigger than like where you're setting them, so that you, even if, all right, so for example, say you want to make $1 million in a year, and you set that as your goal, but originally you're going to set your goal as like 100,000. Well, shit, if you set it at $1 million, shit, you're at least going to get that 100,000. At least you're going to
get that.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so true.
Yeah,
it's so true.
Definitely.
And yeah, like I see it done here a lot. You know, like I see artists get caught up or mad about what other artists are doing or what they're saying, and it's like, get off Facebook, get off Twitter, like, you know what I mean?
You should be on social media as if you're marketing yourself.
Yeah, like don't worry about what's going on here. Like, you're gonna hurt yourself if you do that. Like,
for sure.
You got to think way bigger, and the talent here is so good that it's just right there. Like the bar's here, and we're like right here. And I think what the only difference is just the mindset at this point. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you have the talent, you know, you have your resources, you know, you have your dedication. So at this point, it's just your mindset that's going to separate you.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Where can everyone check you out on social media?
They can find me everywhere at Kayla Rae Music. And I have a website. I don't know if people go to those anymore. But
we do too.
But it's Kayla Rae Music. No, you should go to my website, though, because I have a drop next week. That's really exciting. Okay. So KaylaRaeMusic.com. You can find music and clothes and stuff.
Are you sell clothes, too?
I'm about to.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm dropping on December 2nd.
Like your own merch,
excited.
like Kayla Rae Music type merch. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be It's All Love merch.
Okay.
So it's really cool. Yeah, I can't wait. But and then YouTube and Spotify and all that is just Kayla Rae.
Awesome. Well, shout out Kayla Rae for coming through. Really appreciate you. Make sure y'all go check out all her links on social media. All links will be in the description. Make sure you go check out all her singles she's been dropping. Comment down below who you want to see next on the Maha Minute. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell button to stay notified. Maha Minute, #1 podcast in the universe. We out. Yeah. And shout out to sponsor today's video.
Shout out to 3 a.m. Water. Thank you guys.
Yes, sir. Hydration for the go-getters.
All this drip gon' make them drown. Never extra for the clout. We beefin', we ain't gon' work it out. Said you was down, but you ain't down.